I'm Molly Shen. We begin with the impact from tsunami alerts along the West Coast and Hawaii, as well as Alaska, Japan, and Russia. This all came after Tuesday's major 8.8 magnitude earthquake off Russia's east coast. Right now, the tsunami advisory along Washington's coast has just expired. The same for Oregon and most of California, except for a small part of the northern California coast near the Oregon border. But new tsunami warnings are now impacting South America's Pacific coast, forcing evacuations in Chile and Colombia. New video just in shows police guiding people to higher ground on Easter Island. Russia suffered the biggest impact from tsunami waves, causing damage along the sparsely populated Kamchatka Peninsula. And in Japan, a tsunami warning forced millions of people to evacuate to higher ground, many heading to the rooftops of tall buildings. There are no reports of any major damage there. Tsunami warnings were also issued for Hawaii, California, and Alaska. Evacuations in Honolulu caused major traffic backups on the highways. Beaches were deserted and boats left marinas for open waters. Hotel guests on the Hawaiian Islands were urged to head to higher floors.
They said, to either move away from the coast or to get at least to the fourth floor of a building. And we're staying on the 11th floor, so we felt pretty comfortable and that we were going to be safe.
The biggest wave recorded off the coast of Hawaii was 5.7 feet above sea level. Evacuation orders there have now been lifted. The tsunami alerts also halted flights to the Hawaiian Islands. Seattle-based Alaska Airlines paused all of its flights there. Some planes already in the air even had to be rerouted back to the mainland. Flights have now resumed, but air carriers along the West Coast are urging Hawaii-bound passengers to check for delays. The KOMO 4 drone flew along the coast of Grays Harbor County this morning, and you can see there were some choppy waters. Well, there was some ground video here. You can see some choppy waters along the beaches. This is in Ocean Shores. The biggest waves recorded off the Washington coast this morning, just under 1.5 feet, and that was in the Port Angeles area. Well, let's get to KOMO meteorologist George Waldenberger now, who's been tracking the tsunami alerts this morning. And George, you're monitoring how things are going out there. The advisory itself just expired.
Molly, the thing is, we still have a little bit of very, very small tsunami wave activity at our coastline here, but the tsunami activity has been canceled for the Washington state coast and shorelines because the risk of waves 1 foot or higher has ended. That's what we've been waiting for, the wave heights to subside, and gradually they did through the morning. So our timeline yesterday, 4:24 p.m., that's when the earthquake happened in Russia. Just after midnight, that's when the tsunami waves started arriving at our coast, at La Push. Between 4 and 8 a.m., that's when we saw actually 1 foot water rises at some of our stations, and now the risk of that has diminished. Some of the highest water rises, or tsunami waves, you could say, Port Angeles and toward La Push, and you can look at actually these observation stations. The water levels naturally rise and fall with the tide, but where you're seeing the fluctuations here, that's where you see the onset of tsunami activity, the peak between about 4 and 8 a.m., and then you can see the tsunami wave heights decreasing. So that's the reason why the advisory was canceled, because the activity is waning. Not completely gone yet. It's foggy at First Beach. Again, watching the risk primarily with this was just a risk of being in the water and encountering dangerous currents and also waves. But for now, thankfully, that risk is diminishing. The other weather advisory we'll talk about is our red flag warning for the eastern slopes of the Cascades, and we'll do that coming up, Molly.
All right, first I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the tsunami threat, George. You've reported for us before on this. The National Weather Service counts on some special buoys as part of their tsunami warning and forecast system. Those were designed right here in Seattle.
Right at Pacific Marine Environmental Laboratory. There's actually 4 generations of them, so they've been making them better over time. There's about 50 of these over the open waters, and they monitor the tsunami waves after the tsunami has been generated. So they stand and wait, and once they actually measure the tsunami wave, they actually relay that information to the National Tsunami Warning Centers, and any watches and warnings can be upgraded or tweaked based on the new information.
Right. So, and that's pretty interesting because obviously early warning can be so key. So fine-tuning those watches, warnings, and advisories is so important. Oh, your camera's swinging around there.
Yeah, that's all right. But the thing is, you may remember from yesterday that we started with a tsunami watch, and then it was changed to a tsunami advisory.
Right.
And then Hawaii had a tsunami warning, and that was upgraded to, or downgraded, you could say, to a tsunami advisory. So because of that, as we get more and more information from these dark buoys, it allows us to fine-tune these advisories and make them more and more reliable and accurate.
All right, and I know you've done quite a bit of reporting on that. We have it available on YouTube. People can go to the KOMO News YouTube page for more. George, we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you. That brings us to our KOMO Pulse Poll now. We're asking, how prepared is your family for a natural disaster? And you can see that half of people responding say they're somewhat prepared. 34% though say not prepared. Just 16% say highly prepared. If you'd like to add your vote, point your phone's camera at the QR code on your screen and it'll take you right to the story on our website.